So thank you all for your patience on those little things that happen. We are running a little bit ahead because of that, but we want to go ahead and get started. Thank you to that global community. We heard some really exciting updates from India and Africa, and we're now going to see how bioinformatics as a field is evolving here in the US and the Americas, as well as I said, in the general Americas. Welcome to the Americas section of the Omics Research Symposium. Why are we here? Well, we know you have an interest in how omics are being used around the world. And over the next several hours, you'll hear from world-renowned experts in various omics fields, from the broadest uses of omics to areas of incredible drill-down niches. So stay tuned. My name is Grant, and I am your host for this afternoon. And I'd love to see where everyone is from. So if you would take a moment to drop a hello, I'd love to see it in your native tongue, because I'm sure we have some international people on the call. Drop a hello in your native tongue and maybe your country or locale in English, if you would. Drop that in the chat box. I would love to see that, if we could get some responses there. I know I saw some people from Africa earlier in that mode, but can we get some responses in the chat box? That would be really fun. Nice. Nigeria, Habari, is that your name or your locale? Great. India, Mambo. This is what I was hoping for. This is always amazing, isn't it? To see places from all around the world. Anybody else want to jump in? We've got, 60 people or so on the call. It would be fun to see 50 people on the call. Nigeria again, Malaysia. Relocated to the UK. I hope that's going well for you. Cameroon, Zimbabwe. This is fascinating. Thank you all. You know, at Pine, and keep going, please. Don't stop because I'm talking. At Pine Biotech, we are really interested to know the makeup of our audience. So we thought you might be also. I've got a little poll set up, and unfortunately, I don't have the official Zoom poll, but we're going to put a little poll in the chat box, and we would like to see some more information from you. So this is the poll. And you could just copy and paste one of those, or if you happen to have two or more things, like if you're both an MD and a PhD, if you wouldn't mind dropping that in, we would love to see what the makeup of our audience is and where you are at in your career. We would be fascinated by that. Who can chip in and give us some information on your current status? All right, pursuing a PhD. That's wonderful. Master's? Rissy, thank you. PhD is a lot of work. My brother got a PhD years ago, and he always called it piled higher and deeper. I don't know if that's still the case with getting a PhD, but that certainly seems like it is. Pursuing, good. We've got a lot of really high achieving people. Microbiologist, great. Pursuing a PhD. Nice. Well, thank you all for that. While we're looking at the poll results, if you're not yet registered at learnomixlogic.com for your free learning portal account, I'd like to encourage you to do that now. I'm going to put a link in the chat box. I don't want to interrupt the poll, so you guys just keep dropping it in, but that is the web address, and you can again, it's free, and it sets you on a path to learning about this fascinating body of research and discovery. So if you sign up now at learn.omicslogic.com and click the register for free button, that'd be great if you could do that. I'm going to close that poll now. So thank you for those of you that jumped in on that. A lot of people really going for higher levels, and that is wonderful. And those of you that are maybe still in high school or something like that and did get a chance to chip in, it's a great field to be looking at. Since you're so willing to help, I'm going to do another one. What is your area of interest and data types? So I'm going to put a lead in here for you. So where are your interests? Are you still exploring? Are you into genomics, transcriptomics? Where are you at in your path? Where do you want to be? What is your interest? What is your data type? Genomics. Okay, thank you, Rissy. Thank you for participating in the poll. Another genomics. Fascinating. Nice drill down there. Epigenomics, cool. Nice, nice. These are really great results. You know, if you're wanting to start your career in this broad field, this is valuable insight to what other people's are doing, what other people are doing, excuse me. Anybody else want to chip in on that? We got a lot of genomics exploring. Cyrilli, if I said your name right, that's great. Epigenomia, nice, nice. All right, cool. So what will we hear this afternoon? And feel free to continue with the poll. What will we hear this afternoon? Well, in the US, data science has seen more adoption and more variety. So we're going to hear about some exciting ways omics data and data science is used, from algorithm development to training and applications. The need for more user-friendly tools to facilitate discovery and discussion around reproducible data analysis. Traditional use cases. We're going to look at some increased complexity as well as the availability of data. And then we're also going to look at new applications for this data. Traditional as in research and clinical, and then today as in wellness, beauty, and even supplements. Now, our first introduction is one of the masterminds behind this symposium and Pine Biotech, a leading big data organization whose corporate vision it is to enhance human health and well-being by enabling biological research and discovery with relevant data solutions and support. But before I officially invite Elia to speak, I want him to pop in and see the final results of our next survey, which is going to be kind of related to what we just did, but a little bit different. And I'm going to pop this in here. What is your application area of interest? Where are you going to take this? Now, some of you put that in above as you listed your area, but if you can answer that poll, we would be interested in seeing that also. Infectious diseases, neuroscience. What else do we have out there? Oncology, fascinating. Good for you guys. That's really, really fascinating. So Elia, what do you think about these results? What are you starting to see?
Thank you, Grant. Yes, first of all, it's really exciting to see such a diverse background, such diverse interests, and I'm sure that today's session will be informative because we'll speak about how all of these different types of data converge. And as you mentioned, interesting new applications that maybe some of us have not thought of, but this is definitely exciting.
Cool. Well, great. Thank you for that response. And thank you all for playing. And since you guys have almost met him, I'll do an official introduction. One of the tech masterminds behind the symposium is Elia Brodsky. Elia is the co-founder, one of the co-founders of Pine Biotech, and serves as CEO. His background is in applied mathematics and data science, and is currently completing his degree in business and management from Tulane University. He's facilitated and managed collaborations with researchers at Stanford, UCSF, Louisiana State University, Tulane, and other academic and pharma R&D teams. Mr. Brodsky oversees the strategic development of research projects and manages the team responsible for bioinformatics analysis, training, and collaborations for biotech. Ladies and gentlemen, let's kick off our North American session and our Americas session with Elia Brodsky. Elia, did I get all that in there right? Did I get it said right?
Yes, I think that was perfect. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. It's all yours.
All right, I'll share my screen. And welcome, everyone. This is going to be another kind of a transition into the rest of the speakers. We have an exciting set of topics and speakers that we'll be hearing from today. And so I am really excited. This is the third time we are doing this group meeting, this symposium. Really, it's supposed to be more of a discussion. So as you've seen up until now, we've heard from our representatives in both India and Africa. Really heard some great insights about how education and research are converging, what are the needs and interests in these different regions. And I'm hoping that today we're going to learn more about some of these topics here in our Americas section of this today's session. And then tomorrow we have a great lineup of speakers again. So hopefully you will join that discussion as well. So just kind of like a high-level overview of some of the insights that I've heard so far. It was really interesting to hear about the kind of greater interest and the need for hybrid education, where we see both online and in-person education. And especially in the domain of bioinformatics, where we see such growing amounts of data and growing complexity of data emerge, the need for biotechnology and life sciences degrees to incorporate bioinformatics and data science training into that teaching. So I think that is really relevant to what we're going to be discussing today. In Africa, we saw some of the big challenges that still the continent experiences with infrastructure, with ability to not only hear about bioinformatics, but use bioinformatics and actually apply, I think, bioinformatics methods to areas of research that those participants came and spoke about. So we heard about your interests in environmental sciences, biotechnology, infectious diseases, non-communicable diseases, right? There's such a wide range of applications for bioinformatics. And so I'm hoping that today we'll kind of learn about some new ones, but that kind of presents a challenge, right? How do we actually learn bioinformatics and align that learning with those topics of interest? And how do we not only kind of follow the same technique that is one type of an approach for everyone, right? How do we personalize and match the training with the interests that all of you are pursuing? So we heard a lot about that, and I also am learning about it, and it's really interesting to be able to find collaborations as a result of this discussion, because there's so much I think that we can benefit from by joining forces and working to address these challenges together. So another important announcement that we heard today is the launch of the India Partnership Program. And Dr. Mohit Mazumdar, who is based in India, spoke about our recent developments in developing these long-term relationships with universities and building out a whole pipeline for students not only to be exposed to bioinformatics, but actually learning to answer biological and research questions with data, and working together with faculty as well as mentors from different institutions to advance publications, to advance research projects, and also to get experiences in industry. And we also heard about the research projects that different students are working on, right? So we heard about just a few examples. We have a lot more projects that are available on our portal. So Grant already mentioned, our portal is learn.omicslogic.com. And on that portal, you can see the training that we provide, but you will also see some of the projects that some of the graduates have completed. Thank you, Jasper, for sharing that link in the chat box. You can go and kind of check out some of those new and updated projects. Of course, the benefit of developing a project isn't only to complete a bioinformatics project, but it's also to be able to demonstrate how you can think critically, how you can apply your data science skills to a new and challenging topic, and how you can actually be presenting the results of your research or your analysis in a meaningful way. And I think to facilitate that, we've included some of the judges today, but we've also seen judges previously that came from a background in industry and academia and all kinds of applications of bioinformatics. So really, it's an opportunity to develop your profile and stand out from the crowd. Now, we also spoke about another challenge that I think is varied across the continent here in the US, and we'll talk about some of those challenges outside of these major biotechnology hubs in the US. But we also will hear about bioinformatics in Brazil, and we heard about bioinformatics in Africa and Nigeria. And we have people here from South Africa, from Malaysia, right, from India, from all over the world. And so another major challenge in all of these domains is ability to find mentorship and opportunities to join a research lab or even an internship or a job, finding a job. So recognizing this challenge, we want to really connect this ability to showcase what you have done with the opportunities out there. And so we've launched a job listing site where over the next few months, we will be interacting with the research labs, with the employers to make sure that we can build out that pipeline. And that all fits back into that long-term partnership program where universities can join our community, bring their students to learn about the basics of bioinformatics for absolutely free, develop an interest in a specific application, learn from mentors that are experts in that domain, and eventually showcase their achievements, their projects, their skill sets by demonstrating their projects and applying for those opportunities. So if you are here from a university, if you manage students, if you mentor students, we would be excited to speak to you after this symposium is over. So another important aspect of the projects that we saw in the project competition that we are holding this time, as well as what we've done in the previous times, is we're going to be looking to hand out prizes for these three categories. So we have the category of Best Technical and Research Project. Our judges are right now evaluating the projects that were submitted over the past few months. We have the Promising Research Direction and the Most Innovative Approach. So these are prizes that are going to be awarded tomorrow. If you have participated in the showcase, please join, but also all of you that are supporting these students that are showcasing their research projects, we invite you to join tomorrow and really see who won the prize and also see some of our past participants that have won prizes and what they did after they got those prizes, right? Because they went on to join different programs where they continue their study or have used it to advance their research careers as well. Now, we already spoke about the significance of industry participation. And so as a part of this long-term partnership program, we're really working hard to develop relationships with companies that both hire and offer resources such as infrastructure to help advance bioinformatics and help prepare bioinformaticians of the future for the careers of the future. And so we are excited to now work together with a number of collaborators. Some of them you will meet over the next 2 days. But those include the FABA Academy. They include companies like Google and Camp4 Therapeutics and others. And all of these are areas where bioinformatics is in very high demand and a significantly growing industry. And I think you will be able to see that by looking at the diversity of the job listings on our page. And I also want to mention that if you are here and you have a job opportunity or an internship, or some kind of an experience that you would like to share with our participants, please do submit a job, which is available on that page as well. So what are we going to hear about today? Today, we're going to be talking about advances in enabling technologies. Omics Research Symposium is obviously based on these different types of omics data. So we're going to be hearing about how the diversity of instruments. We have now Illumina, Oxford Nanopore, 10x Genomics. Recently, we heard about Ultimate Genomics, right? So the diversity of data that is being generated, the decreasing costs that are being associated with the sample preparation and sequencing, all of this is driving the need for complex data analysis, cleaning, and integration. And importantly, in different domains, we will hear about how it varies by application type. So we'll hear, for example, about applications in oncology, applications in forensic sciences, and tomorrow we will hear about other applications, including, for example, in beauty. So really a lot of interesting applications that we need to learn about, and the choice of data type, the choice of the sequencing platform, as well as how to manage and analyze such data is what we're going to be hearing about. Now, I'm a big believer in user-friendly tools, right? We all understand the significance of knowing mathematics and knowing statistics and machine learning and also knowing coding languages. Ultimately, you cannot be an expert in everything. And I think that this expectation from bioinformaticians to be both very sophisticated engineers, data engineers, and expert biologists is just sometimes unrealistic. And so to make bioinformatics more accessible, more kind of user-friendly, we need to make sure that a lot of these tools can be used by people with less experience. And so I'm really excited to hear about some of the updates that we're going to hear from Dr. Julia Panov, who's going to be speaking about the analysis of bulk and single-cell transcriptomics data, and from Elizaveta Taranenko, who is going to be speaking about the analysis of metagenomic data on the T-Bioinfo platform. So these are going to be exciting sessions where we will hear some of these important updates and not only hear about them, but hopefully right away be able to use some of those as well. Now, I am also excited to announce that we are going to be hosting a bioinformatics hackathon. So we've tentatively set the date for November 17 to 22, where we are going to be hosting a hackathon for omics, wellness, and health. And the major target will be for students from around the world, as our participants here today from Africa, from India, from the US, from South America, to find each other, build a team, and come together to build an application. And so the goal, and I hope that you take this perspective as you hear some of the speakers that are going to be speaking in just a few more minutes. This is an opportunity to identify a really clear application of omics data in wellness and health. And so I hope that after today's session, we will share announcements about application process, the different resources that we're going to be making available. That will include computing resources, data sets that you can start working with, as well as some mentorship and guidance that we will be making available for those of you that are interested in this opportunity. And the winning team is also going to be getting prizes and recognition for the application that they build. So let me briefly now describe some of the speakers that will cover some research topics that I think are very relevant to what we are doing here today. We're going to speak from Dr. Nikolai Oskolkov, who is a senior bioinformatician at the Department of Biology at Lund University, Sweden, and Science for Life Laboratory. He is going to be speaking about machine learning for multi-omics data integration. Now, this is a very interesting and hot topic in bioinformatics, so I hope that we will kind of see the significance of these challenges that new data types bring, but also to the need in being able to make sense of how does this data actually describe biological phenomena. We'll also talk about another person who is applying multi-omics integration or multi-omics techniques to the area of forensic sciences. And that's where Dr. Sarah Zapico, who is an assistant professor in the Department of Chemistry and Environmental Sciences, is going to speak to us about her current research, but also how she got into this whole field of bioinformatics, because her background is more on the biology, biochemistry side. And I think that this program, the OmicsLogic program, in part was instrumental in her being able to incorporate bioinformatics into her work. We will also, sorry, there's a mistake on the slide, but we will also hear from Dr. Kasturi Kannan, not Julia Panov as it's written on the slide, but Dr. Kasturi Kannan, who is an assistant director at the MD Anderson Cancer Center. So really excited to hear from him about his experience in applying systems biology to oncology. And I think we'll learn a lot about his area of specialization as well. Now, we're also going to hear from a clinician, Dr. Luis Sakamoto, who is a pediatric oncologist in Brazil. And he will be speaking about precision medicine in pediatric oncology. and what is the state of the art and perspectives. And I think it's important to kind of see how these different applications are maybe different by location as well. Now, before we continue, I want to remind you that we offer code or no-code bioinformatics paths for learning and mastering bioinformatics. And so we hope that anyone here today can participate in at least some of what we make available by visiting the OmicsLogic portal. We welcome everyone to subscribe and register there for free, create a profile, and as this becomes more relevant in your area of research, to start benefiting from some of the resources, project examples, and mentorship opportunities that we provide. So we hope that really these kinds of programs can enable research across all of the regions that we have represented today. We offer big data analysis tools where you can make sense of complex relationships between phenotypes and genotypes. We offer mentorship with experts and peer examples that you can learn from. And we're also offering training that is both asynchronous training that you can leverage as a faculty member or even a teacher, and as a guided program that you can incorporate or even offer as a trainer yourself. So one of the important things that we are moving into is opening up the OmicsLogic platform to other participants. So before we move on, I just briefly want to take a pause and kind of show you how you also can participate in this today. So let's go to learn omicslogic.com. And you can follow along. So really, I'll show some of the benefits of what you are able to find on our portal. I'm going to log out. And the way to sign up is simply to go to this link. And you can either sign in with an account that you already have or create an account like this. And so I am going to briefly log in. You're welcome to log in as well. Once you log in, the benefit is that you actually get access to all of these resources, including the T-Bioinfo platform, where you can try out different kinds of demo pipelines and really explore this whole path from beginning to the end. So we're just going to take a couple of minutes to take a look at this. We offer here courses, programs, and projects, and I briefly want to show what do all of these different things mean. So let's say you're interested in mastering Python or R, or you want to learn about single-cell RNA sequencing, or you have an interest in a specific project, like maybe COVID-19. So this is going to be an easy way where you can find any kind of a resource with curated data sets and case studies that are based on publications. You can also look for things like machine learning in R, and maybe you want to learn how to visualize and analyze data using complex machine learning methods. So really, there's a lot of different opportunities here. And a simple way to get started is just to click right here on Getting Started and see a collection of courses that are only around a specific topic. Now, once you are here, you also have a personal profile. On this profile, you can monitor and share your progress and achieve levels of expertise that later on you might be able to showcase if you're applying for a specific position. So here you will track the coursework that you are completing. You can also take mentor-guided programs that are actually led by an expert in that field. And importantly, you can develop an independent project. So developing an independent project is something that is, I think, critical to your mastery of bioinformatics. Not only are you going to be able to show that you've understood the challenge, the problem, found a data set, prepared a whole plan for analysis, but you'll be able to showcase what you have achieved at the end. So if you click right here on the projects tab on top, you'll be able to see some of the exciting projects that others have worked on over the past few months. You can see projects in all kinds of domains, from oncology to infectious diseases to metabolic diseases, neuroscience, and others. And so, as you can see, we also have some features here that you can comment on other projects or like them and highlight them. And that really makes it a much more engaging platform for everyone to participate in. Now, you might be asking, well, but how many people are actually using this platform at the moment? And so you can always check the activity on the portal by simply going to the achievements tab, and you will see that, it's 11:47 right now. Just at 11:46, somebody already learned about bioinformatics, how to get started with bytes and molecules. You can see that somebody just signed up very recently at 11:16, right? So here you can really see a real time flow of participation, and you can also comment and like this as well, as long as you are signed in. So what the OmicsLogic portal offers you is a comprehensive community and set of resources that you can leverage to learn and apply bioinformatics. Now, I also mentioned that we have this high priority for making bioinformatics accessible and user-friendly for anyone that is going to be a part of these training courses. And that's why we have the T-Bioinfo platform specifically designed to help you master analysis of next-generation sequencing, mass spec, structural biology, and all kinds of phenotypic data types. So on this platform, which, by the way, you get a free account with if you complete the registration on the OmicsLogic portal, here you will get access to complex pipelines that you can try to analyze data. You'll be able to interactively create pipelines that produce results right away, and learn as you go through this process to really not only be able to perform the analysis, but understand what goes on at each step of the way. In addition to that, you will be able to compare and contrast how selection of different algorithms defines the outcomes of your analysis, and what are the types of results that you will end up getting in the end. So you will see here right away we have some output data sets that we can explore. In addition to that, you will be able to store your pipelines for later use, and you'll be able to see how this data could be explored interactively, something that we will talk about in today's session in much greater detail, but actually play around with your data and really understand how can this data be informative for your analysis and for the types of things that you would like to understand. So really, not only are you getting the direct access to high quality resources that you can learn from and utilize to build upon to make your own research project, but also have a set of easy to use tools that really make this whole data analysis process much simpler and user-friendly in the end. So with that, I do want to briefly mention some of our initiatives in the US. I'm excited about just this year, we have started a series of pilot projects with an organization called the National Association of Idea Principal Investigators. This organization brings together members from 23 states and Puerto Rico, and includes universities like University of Delaware and University of Hawaii and University of Puerto Rico and many others, where students are kind of outside of these major biotechnology hubs. On the West Coast, on the East Coast, we have many universities that specialize in biotechnology and have been able to put together impressive ecosystems that bring clinical research, biomedical research, biotechnology, companies, funding, etc. And so these 23 states and Puerto Rico represent areas that are underfunded and do not have access to such high quality resources. So we've been able to partner with this network and offer virtual summer programs such as machine learning for biomedical data, analysis of infectious disease data, oncology, as well as our research fellowship program. And we're excited to see participation from both research technicians, students, and faculty across many of these areas that were able to participate and complete successfully some of these programs. Now, the next step, as we complete some of this basic training, is to start opening up this platform to other universities and students around this network. And so what we'll be focusing on tomorrow is hearing from some of the members of this community from different locations, how they see the challenges associated with training in bioinformatics and data science for those who come from a life science and medical background, and how can we actually build a more consistent, high quality, and effective resource to advance biomedical research across these regions. Now, briefly, I want to also mention that we will be starting our next cycle of registrations for the Research Fellowship Program that is designed to help researchers and young researchers and students develop their bioinformatics skills as they kind of immerse themselves into research using bioinformatics. And so the goal there is not so much on skill, it is more on soft skills and critical thinking. How can you pick out your own data set? How can you technically define your research question and really apply your skills to answer that question with real data? We have heard some great examples today, but it is a very structured and clear process that we have designed over the last few years to make sure that anyone without any bioinformatics background can actually perform such analysis and be successful at it. And so we'll hear a little bit more about the need for such research experiences tomorrow, but I want to make sure that you're all aware of this program and you are able to participate if this is something that you would like to do in the next few months. All right, finally, my last exciting announcement for today is that Pine Biotech, with our OmicsLogic Bioinformatics Education Portal, has been nominated as the finalist for the EdTech Cup. And this is hosted by StartEd. This is the largest EdTech accelerator in the US. And they brought together some experts in education technology and EdTech, as well as venture capital from leading firms that invest in such companies. And we hope that we can connect with them to really allow many more students to not only participate, but also really advance their careers and succeed in this field. So over the next few weeks, we'll be sending out information and announcements, and we really hope that we can get your support in succeeding in this competition and getting enough support to really advance to the next level. So again, thank you for joining today. I'm excited to hear our speakers, and I will pass this on to Grant to talk about what's coming up next.